Hi everyone, I am here with a Bible reading. I hope you guys are having a good day. What's wrong? Today we're going to be reading Luke chapter 21 verses 1 through 28, Psalm 89 verses 38 through 52. It's a long psalm, isn't it? And Proverbs chapter 13 verses 20 through 23. So in Luke today, we'll be talking about one of my favorite ones, the widow's offering, and the destruction of the temple and the signs of the end times. Alright. As Jesus looked up, he saw the rich putting their gifts in the temple treasury. He also saw a poor widow put in 2 very small copper coins. Truly I tell you, he said, this poor widow has put in more than all the others. All these people gave their gifts out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in all she had to live on. Shows you she trusts God to take care of her. Some of his disciples were remarking about how the temple was adorned with beautiful stones and with gifts dedicated to God. Wouldn't that be beautiful to see? The building with beautiful stones all over. I'd like to see them. But Jesus said, as for what you see here, the time will come when not one stone will be left on another. Every one of them will be thrown down. Teacher, they asked, when will these things happen? And what will be the sign that they are about to take place? He replied, watch out that you are not deceived, for many will come in my name claiming I am he. And the time is near. Do not follow them. They'll do miracles as well, guys. They'll perform miracles. Satan knows how to fool people. It'll be the Antichrist and people coming saying, I'm God, I'm Jesus, and be doing miracles and all this stuff, and people will believe them. But Jesus is telling you right now, that is going to happen. Do not believe it, because when Jesus comes back, somebody's not going to say, Jesus, the prophet, is over here doing lots of miracles in South Africa. No. When Jesus comes back, he'll be coming down from heaven in the clouds. You'll see him. Everybody will see him at the same time. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. That's just the devil trying to trick you. Sorry, man, my mouth's really dry. When you hear of wars and uprisings, do not be frightened. These things must happen first, but the end will not come right away. It's going to be a while, and it's going to be a very hard time. A lot of people won't make it. You've got to keep your faith strong and get your faith super, super strong before this stuff happens. Will it happen in our time while we're still on this earth? Who knows? We don't know. We never thought we'd have a pandemic while we was alive either, did we? But we were still in one. You just don't know when it's going to happen. Even Jesus does not know. Only God knows. When God gives the word, then Jesus comes back. And then it's too late then for people to ask for forgiveness and oh, Jesus is really real. Oh, I can fool him. He'll accept me. Yeah, I'll fool him. Too late then. What will Jesus say, guys? I do not know you. Away from me, you evildoer. And be cast into hell. Then he said to them, nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be great earthquakes, famines, and pestilence in various places, and fearful events and great signs from heaven. But before all this, they will seize you and persecute you. They will hand you over to synagogues and put you in prison, and you will be brought before kings and governors, and all on account of my name. And so you will bear testimony to me. But make up your mind not to worry beforehand how you will defend yourselves. For I will give you words and wisdom that none of your adversaries will be able to resist or contradict. You will be betrayed even by parents, brothers and sisters, relatives and friends, and they will put some of you to death. A lot of people in my family think I'm crazy because I believe in God, and because they don't believe. And they just like make fun of me, call me a Bible thumper and everything else. It'll tear up families. But, hey, you have to worry about your soul. You worry about theirs too, but, you know, some people you just cannot change. I'd rather please the Lord than please any of my relatives. I'm not going to give up the Lord for nobody, so that's how it should be. God first, and then family. And there's people still getting persecuted today in different places just for being Christians, that are in prison, beat, even killed, just for being a Christian. Some places you're not, in this world, you're not allowed to take the Holy Bible too. If they find one on you, it's not going to be good. That's sad, isn't it? Very sad. Everyone will hate you because of me, but not a hair on your head will perish. Stand firm, and you will win life in heaven with your soul. When you see Jerusalem being surrounded by armies, you will know that its desolation is near. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let those of the city get out, and let those in the country not enter the city. For this is the time of punishment and fulfillment of all that has been written. How dreadful it will be in those days for pregnant women and nursing mothers. There will be great distress in the land and wrath against this people. They will fall by the sword and will be taken as prisoners to all the nations. Jerusalem will be trampled on by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. People will faint from terror, apprehensive of what is coming on the world, for the heavenly bodies will be shaken. At that time they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. When these things begin to take place, stand up and lift up your heads, because your redemption is drawing near. If you know where you're going, if you're saved and you know you're going to heaven, you're going to be very happy to see Jesus coming back. But if not, people are going to go crazy. And then it's too late. Jesus ascended to heaven on a cloud. His disciples seen him, and he'll be coming back on a cloud. You'll see him coming down from heaven. You got a piece of candy, or like a hard piece of candy, gum or something? Alright. Let's try to get through Psalm 89. Verses 38 through 52. And now super dry like cotton. But you have rejected, you have spurned. You have been very angry with your anointed one. You have renounced the covenant with your servant, and have defiled his crown in the dust. You have broken through all his walls, and reduced his strongholds to ruins. All who pass by have plundered him. He has become the scorn of his neighbors. You have exalted the right hand of his foes. You have made all his enemies rejoice. Indeed, you have turned back the edge of his sword, and have not supported him in battle. You have put an end to his splendor, and cast his throne to the ground. You have cut short the days of his youth. You have covered him with a mantle of shame. How long, Lord, Will you hide yourself forever? How long will your wrath burn like fire? Remember how fleeting my life is. For what futility you have created all humanity. Who can live and not see death? Only Jesus. Or who can escape the power of the grave? Only Jesus. Lord, where is your former great love, which is your faithfulness you swore to David? Remember, Lord, how your servant has been mocked, how I bear in my heart the taunts of all the nations, the taunts with which your enemies, Lord, have mocked, with which they have mocked every step of your anointed one. Praise be to the Lord forever. Amen and amen. Amen. So I'm guessing that is the end of Psalm 89 now. And ending today's Bible reading, Proverbs Chapter 13, verses 20 through 23. So we have 4 of them today. Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Trouble pursues the sinner, but the righteous are rewarded with good things. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children, but a sinner's wealth is stored up for the righteous. An unplowed field produces food for the poor, but injustice sweeps it away. Alright guys, that was our Bible reading for today. I hope it touched your hearts. Let's see something real quick here. So I got our prayer requests here. I added a couple more people. They are in my family. I was talking to my sister last night and some things are going on, so we'll see. We'll see. So please keep the following people in prayer. Rhonda Karshner, my mom. She had to go to the dermatologist today. She's supposed to call me when she gets home. There's a spot on her face that we know is skin cancer, and they're going to biopsy it today because she's already had skin cancer on her nose, and they've had to do surgery on it, and we know that's cancer because every time it always is with her. She's had it so many times, and she keeps getting on her face. And I don't know, but please let it come back okay, and if it is cancer, which we pretty much know it is, please let them get it all, and without disfiguring, her face right here. It's like right here on her cheekbone. She's really self-conscious about her nose since they did it, because it looks different, And they always make her take off all of her clothes and check her entire body with a magnifying glass. And she's got a couple other spots on her back that I told her to make sure the doctor looks at, because it takes forever to get into the dermatologist. Her appointment wasn't until next month, I think, and that's been months away that the appointment was made. But since the skin cancer thing come up, they got her in this week, so she's in there today. I'll keep you updated. Please keep Sherman in your prayers. His arm's still really bothering him. We don't know if the insurance is going to cover the therapy. Hopefully somebody will let us know. Please pray for Layla and her son Emil. Layla for her health and other things, and Emil for an unspoken prayer request for something good he wants to happen in his life. Please pray that he gets that. The Lord blesses him with that. It'd be wonderful. Elizabeth Jeffries, Judy Thompson, Jimmy Myers. Jimmy had to stay home today by himself. My mom was gone. She didn't want to go. Cindy Welsh, Dora Carter, Joyce Light, Latham Burns, Abby Myers, Donna Dunlap and family, Garnet Boyer and Jim Mitchell, Ramona Henry, Jan, Jeannie Burns, Kathy Butterball, and the 2 that I added last night, Please pray for my sister, Melly. She's the baby sister. Please pray for her. She's the only one that actually talks to me. And, we talk on Facebook. She's the only one that has anything to do with me. With my sisters, so. And she has never kept her kids away from me. When we fought, she never would keep the kids away, but everybody else would. But not her. She never done that to me. And I really appreciate that. Because like I said, the others did. And it broke my heart and tore me up. Just like it did the kids. Because we were very, very, very close. I pretty much raised them since the day they were born. And then it's to get them ripped away from you if you don't kiss somebody's butt 24/7. Imagine, that's like somebody ripping your own child away from you. They weren't even allowed to wave at me when I walked by taking a walk, or they'd get in trouble. That's the God's honest truth. I'd send a birthday card to them, and they'd take it and my sister would take and rip it up and throw it away, wouldn't let them have it on their door or nothing. Because my niece hung it up one time when I sent her a birthday card and on her door, and my sister went in there and took it off and ripped it up and threw it in the trash. So my niece and I kind of had to keep in contact secretly. I'd write my mom, I'd write her a note and stuff. And my mom, when she went over to visit, she'd sneak and give it to Abby for me. And Abby would go to her bedroom and read it and hide it. It's pretty sad. We had to go through that. That's when I got severely, severely depressed and had to get on medicine. Because I was a wreck. Those are my babies. And I know she's hurting and crying for me, and I'm crying for her, and they're just laughing. They don't care because they want to hurt me. And they weren't nice to the kids, They were always getting hit on, always screamed at, and all I did was constantly worry about them. Very strict, like army rules they had. No way for a child to grow up, let's just say that. It's very heartbreaking. They didn't have a good childhood at all. And then my other sister, I watched her son and would go over there and babysit for him and, do things with him, me and him together, take care of him. And then my sister told that sister, I don't know what she told her, but whatever it was a lie, because I never done nothing to her at all. And she wouldn't let me see him no more. And that's since he was 4 years old, and now he's 16 or 17. And he won't even speak to me if Dad brings him here. Never says hi or anything. And we were close. I don't know what she told her to this day. I tried to find out. I don't know what she told her. But she was screaming one day when I went over to the house, their house, and he was there. Because her mom lived there, and her mom, because she was still Dad's wife. And I went over there to see my sister Melly and her baby, and my nephew was there, and she found out that I was over there, and she started screaming and cussing on the phone at her mom, and she didn't want me around him. He came up to me one day, he's 4 years old, this is how it happened. It was just a regular day, and I was over there visiting, playing and everything with the kids and my sister, and 4 years old, he came up to me and said, my mommy said I can't be around you anymore, or you're not allowed over here. That broke my heart into a million pieces. Because I swear I done nothing wrong. And I'll take it to my grave. I never done nothing wrong. My other sister did and said horrible things about him. Made fun of him horribly. I never did. Never. So whatever she told her was a lie. But of course everybody believes the evil person. They don't believe the one who's telling the truth. But they all think I'm crazy anyway. I'm a Bible thumper, I'm fat, I'm ugly. It's always been that way all my life, so. Anyway, about Melly. She's got some health problems going on. And as you know, she's going through a divorce as well. Her and her father of her youngest 2 kids, Kinsley and Olsen, they're getting along really good right now, co-parenting and everything. They're like best friends. They're just not too good as a couple, you know, I guess. But they're really good friends. And very, very proud of them. Very proud. Trust me, they've come a long, long way. A long way. But anyway, she's got some stuff going on here. She's got something wrong with her thyroid. It's like a big ball in the back of her throat. She said sometimes it, you know, feels like it's going to close up her throat. And they found bad hormones in it, she said. So, you know, that could be cancerous or could turn into cancer. So they're wanting to remove that, which I'm so glad they are. Because who wants to have that back there, worry about your throat closing up and stuff. And she's also got ulcers like Dad does, so they're trying to repair it. She's got something wrong with her wrist. She's in a wrist brace now. And she was saying something about her gallbladder. They might be taking her gallbladder out. But anyway, she's going through a lot right now. Plus, with my little niece Kinsley, I got her on the list here. She's only 6 years old. Just turned 6. Today, I believe, is her birthday. 6 years old today. My nephew, Toby, his birthday's this month as well. He turned 12. But little Kinsley, 6 years old. She's in kindergarten. And, you know, she's coming home crying because the kids at school, they're bullying her. Some of the kids are bullying her really bad. Telling her she's ugly and she's disgusting and nasty and she's stupid. I don't know what all they're doing to her. But my sister and Kinsley's dad called the school. The teacher wouldn't do anything. The principal wouldn't do anything. I told her, call the school board. And my sister told her to punch him in the mouth if they'd done something like that. But Kinsley said, don't make me go to the principal's office. Which is true. So she's been crying every day. Begging and crying not to go to school. Because she's so scared. So my sister told me she didn't go to school again today. So she's home again. But they called and she told me that Joe, their dad, called the school again today and the principal was supposed to call him back, and I said, well, let me know. And she wrote me and said they're going to do something about it now. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to do something about it now, thank goodness. I hope they do, because that's so sad. And I got some really good news from her last night. It was so exciting because she's like, if you want to keep Kinsley sometime, Joe will let you. He won't care. Because, you know, they live with their dad right now. And I'm like, are you serious? I was thinking. I would love to. Me and Abby and Jimmy, we used to have so much fun together, me and the kids. And I don't know if she'd be afraid to stay here or not, but I'd take her to the park and out to get ice cream, and we'd get her to the store. We'd have all kinds of fun. And I asked Sherm, Sherm said I was allowed to have her here, which I was surprised as well. I was so shocked. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. But I told my sister, you know, wait for me to get a little more better before I do that, because, as you know, I'm still on oxygen, and it's going to be hard to do things with a little kid when you're on oxygen, and I'm still hurting, breathing, and I don't want her to catch anything. So I'm going to hopefully get over this, God willing, sooner or later. And I would love to be able to keep her and hang out with her. I'd teach her about Jesus and God, that's for sure. As soon as she got here, we'd be having Bible study every time she came. Me and Abby did. She might be doing it for Kinsley as well. I surely will. And I'll talk to her about the bullying and everything. Anyway, so there, my sister Melly and Kinsley's on the list. So please pray for little Kinsley that the people at school that are bothering her, they stop. There's no reason why that teacher can't talk to the whole class and tell them, they're only 5 and 6 years old, to tell them, you know, how would this make you feel if so-and-so did this to you or said that to you? You're hurting her heart. You're making her very sad. Is that what you want to do? Is that the kind of person you want to be? She could talk to the kids and say, there's going to be no bullying here. Follow the golden rule. Follow the golden rule. It used to be up on our school board or in our classroom, our thing. Treat others the way you want to be treated. So the principal could come into class and give them a talking to as well, because you know they're usually more afraid of the principal. And that would stop that. Because if not, it's just going to get worse and worse the older she gets through school. And I know that for a fact because I went through it. And I still have nightmares to this day, 40 years old, from being some experiences in school. I remember them like they were yesterday. I know what it's like to be bullied, and I do not want her to go through that at all. No kid should have to. It's a lot worse today than it was when I was in school because of the social media and all that. So many kids have killed themselves because of bullying. Little kids even. It's sad, it's sickening, and something needs to be done about it. And you tell the parents their child's doing something bad, they don't even care anymore. Back in the old days, if your child kicked my child or said a cuss word to my child or whatever, and you called the parents, they would more than likely spank their child and it would never happen again. And they would apologize. Not these days. Not these days. And that's very, very sad. Very sad. I told her I wish she could be homeschooled. I'd love to do it, but, you know, they couldn't bring her out here every day probably, you know. Because they live about 30 to 40 minutes away from us. But anyway, please pray for her and pray for my sister. I'm just worried to death about Kinsley. Like I said, because I went through it. I know what it's like. And I can just picture her being on the bus and people picking on her and calling her names, and then at school her being all alone and everybody making fun of her and treating her like a little outcast. And why ain't the teacher doing anything? Please keep her in your prayers. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let's bring those souls to Jesus. And God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible reading. I'm sorry guys that I rambled on and on, but I have no one to talk to. And it's so nice just to get things out, you know. So I hope you didn't mind. Sometimes it's just nice to let it all out instead of keeping it all in. I love you guys. God bless. Let's bring those souls to Jesus. Bye-bye.